like next time, Mike, like.
Welcome to GalaxyCon Live. I'm Mike Broder, president of GalaxyCon. With me as my co-host is the effervescent Dana Snyder, who hasn't shaved in a week. And
I want social lockdown.
Yeah, you're locking down something. And
well, I have a lot of staff, and I let my barber go home for the week to spend time with his elderly parents.
Imagine you do.
He'll be back on Monday, though. Don't worry.
And our two co-hosts, our two guests tonight, are two of the hardest working voice actors in the anime industry, Monica Rial and Jamie Marchi.
Hi!
Monica joined us last week, and we convinced her to come back and drag Jamie in with her.
Yes.
And kicking and screaming, here we are.
Woohoo! She told me to, and so I did.
So
that's kind of how it works.
Before we start, we're doing a special giveaway tonight.
Oh, fun.
Toilet paper?
Producer,
please tell me it's toilet paper.
No, I've sent you all my extra toilet paper. We're out of toilet paper,
well,
Dana.
Forget it. Whatever it is, forget it. Is it made of paper? Whatever you're giving away, is it on paper?
Yeah, but I don't think you can use it because it'll scratch. It's like on glossy paper.
Try me. You soak it.
You see under me this beautiful 11 by 14 glossy photo from My Hero Academia, signed by Monica, Jamie, Brittany Karbowski, who will be our special guest next Wednesday.
Oh, fun.
And maybe Dana will join me again because, fun fact, their first show they ever did for me both was back in 2007 at the same time, and I still don't think Dana knows who she is. And
well, no, not the first part. The first part is true. The second part is not true.
And J. Michael Tatum, who we're gonna have to convince to come on the show at some point in time, and who is Jamie's co-host on the Blue Intentions podcast, and that's Jamie's puppy, who will be joining us tonight as well. He'll be letting us.
Who's your co-host?
Huh?
The podcast is Michael Tatum.
Oh.
They do a ghost-centric podcast called Ghoul Intentions.
Fun.
And
yes, we tell ghost stories and the history of haunted locations. And,
I did a panel with J. Michael Tatum once.
Oh, you did?
That's the end of my story. All I know is he's been in the business for 20 years. I know that because he prefaced every answer with being in the business for 20 years.
I've been.
So to win this autographed photo, all you have to do is share this stream on Facebook. Share it publicly so your friends can see it, and so can the public, and so can we. And then at 7:30, we're gonna pick somebody randomly. Producer Steve and Crystal, who are hiding in the shadows somewhere, are going to find you and pick you as a winner.
There's producer Steve with Jamie right there.
That so daunting.
No, that's not producer Steve. That's Jamie.
That is. We're hardest working dog in show business.
That's Dexter.
So share this live stream on Facebook publicly, and you'll be entered to win. It's that easy.
Do it.
Do it.
Share it, win it, make it happen.
Yes. So.
You know what? I'm going to throw this in there. Mike, you're generous. I know you can do it. On top of that, in the envelope, 6 squares of toilet paper. Just single squares.
We could probably make that happen. We might have a couple extra rolls at the office.
So how many rolls of toilet paper do you think that we're all going to sign when this is over?
How many of those masks, the cloth Etsy masks, are people going to be wearing at shows with your characters on them?
Oh,
hopefully everybody will be wearing those.
Yeah, my mom's been bedazzling.
What a fabric one? I bought a fabric one. I bought a fabric one that's made with Cruella de Vil on it.
Ooh,
and they do a lot of nerdy ones. It's on my Twitter. I can't remember it off the top of my head. But a lovely couple of ladies make them, and they're nerd-centric. So my fiance has a Punisher one, and then I just ordered a whole bunch for, my family, too.
I think when we get back to doing the shows, I think that's going to be one of the big items.
I mean, if you don't have GalaxyCon masks and hand sanitizer, I'm going to be very disappointed.
Well, we've always had.
I know you have the hand sanitizer.
We've always had GalaxyCon hand sanitizer.
But big bottles.
Well, yeah. I tell the story how we made the. This is, by the way. Oh, there goes Tweak. My cat just jumped by. He wanted to be in the shot for a minute. We tell the story that we made these hand sanitizers, and we made like a ton of them, and we went through like a bunch of shows, and nobody used them. Nobody wanted to use them. They were just sitting there. And then all of a sudden, that last show we did in Richmond in March, we used up as much, if not more, than we had like the last 5 shows combined.
Wow.
I'm going to give you a quick mask tip, everybody.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
So the N95 masks, they're 95 because they're 95% particulates cannot get in there, et cetera, right?
Right.
If you buy a cloth mask that has, you can put an insert in it, and people are saying either put paper towels or stuff, don't put paper towels.
Don't do
What you do,
Uh-huh.
buy on your Amazon, get some HEPA filter vacuum cleaner bags.
Yeah.
Filter 99.9% particulates. And use that, cut them down, and use that as the thing you put inside of there. Did you get that? Did you write that all down, Mike?
Hang on. Kenny James wants to say hi, everyone. Bowser is watching.
Oh.
I will say,
Even me.
I will say, Dana, I expected that to go a completely different direction. Like, have you seen the people that are now taking maxi pads and just sticking them to their face? I thought that's where you were going with it.
Oh, no. No. That's probably just fine, too.
No, I like the one where the woman has a horse.
Yeah, they're doing the sticky part on their face.
Oh, God.
On their face.
You don't need a strap.
Better alternative than
No,
that.
have you guys seen the one with the woman with the horse, and she's wearing a mask, and then her horse has the big nostrils, so she's got a bra on
No.
the horse's nose?
No.
That's floating around the internet.
That's using resources.
That poor horse.
My only thing was I wore my mask to the store, and I didn't have a HEPA filter. But I think I would have had a panic attack if I did. I was like, I can't breathe. All I can. It's so
Jamie,
hot in
no
here.
more store. Instacart.
Yeah.
And
But-
Instacart.
I don't know about where you are, but where we are, Instacart is on like a 5-day delay.
Oh, my
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, yeah.
So for us, it's like I ordered Instacart on Tuesday, and it said it was going to come on Sunday.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Amazon Prime is worse.
Yeah,
Really?
it's the same thing. It depends on where you are. Like we've had real issues, like even shipped. Like I've tried every different, like,
Yeah, they're all backed up.
yeah.
Uber, they are.
Now they started here a thing with Instacart. Like if you ordered on Monday and it'll come on Sunday, or it might come whenever. Before that, if
Right.
somebody's free and says, "Okay, I got 2 hours, I can go shop for this asshole," they'll do it like that.
But then they get
But it could say he's coming at 11 o'clock at night. Your delivery's about to be there, or 7 in the morning.
Well, the good news is, Dana, is that you're supposed to stay home and not leave your house.
Yeah.
So you'll be home to accept it at 11 o'clock at night.
you're asleep though, and then they're trying
Where are
to
you going?
approve everything. Like I had a lady get kind of pissy with me because she was supposed to deliver and I forgot to set my alarm, so she delivered very early, and so I wasn't up, and so she kept texting me through the
Oh
app.
yeah, for substitution.
Approve your stuff. I'm like, sorry.
Oh,
So
my
she told me all the wrong things. She probably did it on purpose.
Kenny's out of his mind and went to Costco today.
What?
Only 20% of the people had masks on.
Why?
Kenny, were you wearing gloves?
Where does Kenny live?
All right, here's my pro tip. My pro
Where does he live?
in Dallas.
Yeah.
Kenny's in
okay.
Dallas now. Pro tip: if you gotta
Well,
go,
Kimmy's in Fort Worth. He's in Flower Mound.
it's
And so there's a very, very big difference between Dallas and the cities outside of Dallas.
Sure.
So it's like, yeah. So Dallas, proper Dallas County, went on lockdown a month ago.
right.
And so these other cities haven't really. So, yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry.
pro tip: if you don't have gloves, you got to wear a mask, even if it's a bandana or something. If you don't have gloves and you got to go shopping, go right to the produce section, get those produce bags, and wear them like gloves.
Oh, yeah.
Because like 2 weeks ago, I had to go shopping, and that's what I did.
Oh, that's pretty smart.
So
Yeah.
it's
You
like
got it. You got no choice.
I also have sanitizer in my car. Do
What'd
I
you
have sanitizer in my car? Get in there.
Well, you got to do the sanitizer, but if you're touching, like, you're just walking around, you're touching things other people have touched, and you got to be careful.
Like pushing a cart around that 1,000 people have touched in the last.
Well, you gotta wipe it down with your own
2 hours.
Well, I don't know.
All of the places wash them here. They scrub them off at Target and at,
like we,
they wash them off.
Yeah, they scrub them off. But do you trust them? You think that guy is meticulously scrubbing every cart off? Because
they are, Dana, but they're only scrubbing the top. They're only scrubbing the handle. And
I know. That's what I'm saying.
In the thing. So you got to get the sides.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Like, and then like sometimes you grab it by the front.
I know.
You need a cart condom, like a cart condom, and then you put it in the cart.
All they
need
is
stuff
this.
In the.
They need a little like the X-ray detector, like the thing you walk through, but it's all that UV that if they just push it through real quick, like in 30 seconds, the whole thing will be. I got one of those boxes coming. It's a UV. You can put your phone in, you can put your gloves in, and a UV light, it sterilizes everything in 3 minutes.
Let's not do the black light where you see what material.
No. It kills everything. But it's through light.
Acceptable.
You can get. I have shopping bags that actually stretch out to the whole length of the cart, so it kind of like clips onto the edges of the cart, and then you put the stuff in there, and then you just kind of pick it up and take it if you don't buy a lot of stuff. But
that's nice.
But it's
then what's on the outside of the bag. Then you put it in your car. Then you're driving around the COVID mobile.
I honestly,
the trunk of your Maserati, Monica, is then covered in COVID.
My Maserati.
Yes.
Oh, only.
Do Maseratis have pumps? Are they in the front of the car? I don't know.
Do they?
You know, Monica.
At a Fiero.
Look out the window. Tell me is a.
Don't make people think anime voice actors make as much as they think we make.
No, Dana, they don't make as much as you Hollywood.
Well, let me tell you something. A lot of people think anybody on TV makes a lot of money, and that's not necessarily true at all.
That's not true.
That is true.
No, but
we have the benefit of living in Texas where things are affordable.
And you know what else you have, Jamie?
Maseratis.
You know what, Jamie and Monica, you know what you have that Dana doesn't have?
What? I know, Rob. I'm sorry.
Funko Pops.
It's coming.
How do you not have a Funko Pop yet?
Listen, or twist that knife in a higher voice, no less.
Jamie finally got a Funko Pop. She has worked so hard.
I
know. Everybody in the world's got a freaking Funko Pop.
But I never got it in November. It was my first one. And it's a big one. That's her.
His would be like perfect.
Mount Lady, right?
I can't see it.
It's Mount Lady. It's behind you.
Yeah.
Show it off.
She's.
How do I get it right there?
Oh.
Look at that thing.
She's a big one.
Look at that beautiful hunk of plastic.
Yeah, no kidding.
Look at this booty. Right? Shit.
My goodness.
I love her. I love her.
So that's what you get by being a voice actor in Texas.
You get Funko.
It only took me 18 years, so yeah. Everybody else has pops. Like looking around, it's like all of my friends and everybody have like Monica has at least 47 pops. Chris Sabat has 2,038. Like so many pops.
I think Monica's got two, but there's like 92 different varieties of each one.
Well, I've got
yeah.
It's like Bulma going to the gym, Bulma going dancing, Bulma. It's like Barbie.
Yeah.
There's different Bulmas.
Yeah, poolside Bulma, dinner date Bulma.
I wish there was a dinner date Bulma. That would be cute. But like Tsuyu's about to get another one. She's about to get her little incognito one, which I'm not sure. I want to know if it glows in the dark. I'm not sure.
You'll find out.
But I already
Somebody will.
Dana, what characters do you think you have that should have pops?
Shrub Attorney.
Like it makes
Zinger, the Tidy Cat from the internet only Tidy Cat campaigns.
Dana is the voice of a bump that was of the Everything's Fine.
Oh, I lost it. I don't know where he went, Mike.
Fine.
Cleaned it up.
Fire going around him.
Oh yeah.
That's you.
I forgot to tell you this, Mike. Last week or 2 weeks ago, nobody had any idea. They put an album out from the Netflix show I'm on called Paradise PD. However, what's significant, I believe it's track number 5 or 6, is me singing the theme from the Golden Girls.
What?
Wonderful. Hang on a second. Did I just see a Ron behind you, Monica?
He's
Ron, stop working. Say hi.
Can't stay out of the action.
There he is.
Can't keep himself away.
clean shaven. He looks like he's
So pretty today.
Because you had that work hangout, right? With the guy who showed you the tattoo.
Me and Dana are actually twins, so I don't know if you knew that or not. But
I just made a lot
Dana
worse life choices. A lot of bad decisions.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just one bad day from being me or the other. I don't know if that works, but little daredevil.
You're 9 months worth of better decisions, or 20 years worth of better decisions, healthier choices.
Ron, Dana is you. Dana is you if you had a career as a voice actor and not the real career you have.
Right.
And you drank a lot.
Yeah.
And you hung out with people like me.
Well, I would like to do more of those.
Like I said, a lifetime of bad decisions.
You should try the mortgage business.
Don't get crazy, y'all. I'm not even kidding. Like, I really didn't think, I thought us actors had it as far as like crazy colleagues and people being weird. And then he started sharing stories of their conventions. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, mortgage folks go hard.
Yeah.
Like, they go hard.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because nobody's going to talk about all the stuff that they do.
Right.
We go to a convention and anybody's the stuff we do, everybody's going to talk about
it's
it.
on the internet.
Yeah.
It's not safe.
Yeah, our place is fine.
Back in the day, though.
And alcohol, it's fine.
Jamie, you do anything at a convention, there's a panel of it 10 years from now.
Yep.
Talking about the thing that you and Monica did at the show.
Yeah.
Oh, well, with us, like anything we do, there's going to be a YouTube video later tonight.
If we mention remotes or anything.
Oh, we're all going to be.
Yeah, I had to change my Twitter face thing.
We have some special fans out there.
Yeah. What happened to Jamie? Did she disappear?
Yeah, Jamie decided to ditch.
Yeah,
she's like, I'm
She's had enough of this nonsense.
She's going to a mortgage convention. As soon as she heard that, she's left. She's already
She heard that she can go hard at the mortgage convention.
Yeah, her go bag is already.
Yes.
That's what her fiance does as well.
Yep.
He's a loan officer as well, so it's kind of funny that they.
So does her fiance and Ron, do they fight? You know, in like the mortgage, Thunderdome.
No.
This is Mortgage Thunderdome. One mortgage broker enters. I mean, 2 mortgage brokers enters. 1 mortgage broker leaves.
Yeah, no. Nah,
No,
he's doing pretty well. He's a relatively new LO, so he's working at a different spot. But
And Monica does the Tina Turner role, and then Dana does Master Blaster.
I like it. That's actually my nickname, so
Master
just in case.
See?
For our sex life, it's no big deal. Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Hey-o!
It's the mortgage meeting I was just in. I'll leave because I'm not responsible. So
Here's a Jamie. Oh, it's a wheel. Jamie's a wheel.
babe,
Jamie's trying to get back in.
yeah.
I think she had some Wi-Fi issues.
All right, before Jamie jumps back in,
Hey,
we got 12
There
minutes
she is.
to share this stream publicly on Facebook. You could win that My Hero Academia print signed by those 4 lovely people.
Share it. It's right. Wait, no. It's
Steve, put Jamie back on top.
that way.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Oh, where'd she go? Bye.
I heard something. Oh, LaCroix time.
I was trying to use my
What's
Wi-Fi hotspot, but then my Wi-Fi hotspot was like, no. What?
What happened?
Dead.
I think producer Steve pressed the wrong button.
Uh-oh.
Yay! So, are you using your hotspot, Jamie?
Yay! Once
you.
when
I
I
can-
switched
I
to my Wi-Fi, we're
I
having
sure
some real
am.
problems with that
Oh, there.
Wi-Fi right now.
What's going on with your Wi-Fi? Yours is really
Waylon
Yeah, I had
Actors,
to-
we noticed you. You don't need to cry for help.
Been bad.
It's one of her ghosts. It's one of the ghosts that's haunting her.
And Jack is working from
Screwing
home. My
with it.
fiance works from home. There's so much wind. That her
Yeah.
name is Wendy. We named her that.
Keith Mattingly has a
Because
good
anytime
point
we
that
hear
someone's
wind and stuff goes around, we're like, it's Wendy. It's Wendy. She did it.
Keith Mattingly has a good point that he says, I think something was trying to haunt her side of the stream.
Yeah. It's Wendy.
Yeah, it's Wendy. Wendy, Monica, what are you drinking?
Always. It's Wendy.
So I have an affinity for like really sweet red wine. And this stuff is the cheapest sweet red wine ever, but it's awesome. It's called Roscato.
Oh, Roscato.
Yeah, it's bubbly and very, very sweet. So if you do not like sweet red wines, I do not suggest it. Also, it is cheap with a capital C. So you kind of have to take your activated charcoal the night before, or you're going to be in a lot of pain the next day.
What is activated charcoal?
Dana, are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Dana,
I know what activation is. I know what charcoal is. I don't know what activated charcoal is.
Okay, so.
Or what is unactivated charcoal?
So activated charcoal, basically,
Right.
they're putting it in ice cream. They're putting it in toothpaste. But if you can get the pills at like CVS, and they're like little capsules of just activated charcoal. And it's meant for like if you have food poisoning or something, then you take them, and it's supposed to get rid of all the toxins and stuff. So I was talking to this gamer dude that was like, oh, yeah, I have to do cons all the time, and I drink like crazy. And I'm like, how do you not have hangovers? Because he was older as well. I'm like, you're not.
And he's like, oh, I'm an alcoholic. That's why I'm.
He said, he's like, I take activated charcoal before I go to bed at night. And I was like, what do you mean?
Professional alcoholic.
Right. So he was explaining that you take, like, after you've been drinking, you take a couple of activated charcoal capsules with a big old glass of water. And yeah, the next day you feel fine.
Interesting.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
You still wake up with poop in your pants, but you don't have a headache.
That's just
In a
you.
pool of, you're still in a pool of your own sick.
The only thing you have to be careful of is the first time you use the restroom after taking the charcoal. You don't
There we
remember the charcoal, you think you're bleeding internally, and you're going to go to
Like
the
eating a plate full of beets.
Dana, you see,
Yes, Mike. Speaking of plate full of beets, Mike, plate
Also-
full of beets, Broder.
moderation. Maybe if you weren't drinking till 9 a.m. with Guy and Jamie, and not Jamie, Josie.
Oh.
That's
You,
the start.
Roaming.
That's the day. That's the
That's not drinking.
the amuse bouche of the morning.
It's their
Listen, you've never sat at a table in
I
between
support it.
Brian O'Halloran and Guy Hutchinson. If you ever had Mike, you would be drinking at 6 in the
Not
morning.
had that honor. So Jamie, you made a comment a few minutes ago about how, in the old days, you could get away with a lot more at these conventions than now in the age of smartphones. So
yeah.
you and Monica are old pros at this, having done this. Dana first started in 2007 was his first show. But you guys go further than that, right?
That was
Yeah.
my first show.
Was 2007?
Not me. My 2007 was my first show
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm old.
for Witchblade.
Yeah, Monica's the old pro here. What was your first show?
No, people just wanted her. That's the difference.
My first show was A-Con
Monica?
in 2000 or 2001.
Oh wow, that is. What were you, 5?
Oh, thank you. Yes, I was a child. Very,
You
very.
were a child actress. I had Aaron Dismuke on,
Oh,
and he's like, I went to my first thing when I was 14 years old, and I started voice acting when I was 9, and I'm like, it was a couple years ago, right? Like,
he
Yeah.
makes us all feel
Right.
old because I met him when he was 10 years old. It's crazy to even say that. And now he's like the tallest person at Funimation, which is even weirder. But like we've watched him go through all of the awkward periods, all of the weird stuff that you go through as a teenager. We've watched him go through all of that. And he's turned into a wonderful young man. And I adore him, but it's so weird
Watch it, John Brown.
to watch people have seen
Yeah,
him since he was a child.
When did John Brown turn into Statler and Waldorf? Oh, by the way, just for the start of these streams.
John Brown turned into Statler Waldorf when we were in detention in middle school.
Okay, because
And
it
he
never.
was-
He's
and-
always, he's always like, "Hello, sir. So nice to see you guys. It's wonderful. Yes, I'd be right away, Mr. Broder."
You just
On
don't
this
know.
thing, he's like, "Hey, and fuck your brother."
You know what? You're finally meeting the real John Brown.
Okay.
The one that I've known for,
You've
30
told me
something
about
years.
him. 6 minutes left.
So, all right, we got 6 minutes to say for you to enter to win.
I don't know what that symbol
6
means.
minutes to share this stream on the Facebooks publicly, and you could win this beautiful 11 by 14 photo signed by Monica, Jamie, Brittany Karbowski, and J. Michael Tatum. Do you know how hard it was to get this signed by all four?
It took literally minutes. It took over 4 minutes 2 months ago.
Table.
What'd you say, Mike?
Like getting the cast of Aqua Teen in one place.
Well, that's impossible.
I've done it.
Most of the cast.
You know how? No. I had you, Dave, and Carrie all in one place.
Okay. What about the rest of the
I had
cast?
George in that show.
At the same time?
Yes.
C. Martin Croker?
You know what? I didn't have C. Martin Croker there, but I had him in other shows.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Well,
you can't get, Martin.
can't get him anymore for
Awful. You just gotta bring it all down, don't you?
just saying.
It's like when
I'm just trying to emphasize how special this autographed
Oh,
print is.
look.
That's all I'm trying to do.
It's these four people in one place.
Yes. And
Trying
you
to let these people on the comments who everything these two nice ladies say, they just say the opposite. Monica, I'm so old. Then 5 people go, you're not old. You're not old. You're not old. You're not old.
Thanks, guys.
So-
you see the comments.
I
Like,
hate
we
my
have lots
dog.
of support.
Your dog. I got an ugly dog. Your dog's beautiful. Your dog's beautiful. You have a
Jamie.
lovely dog. A
All right,
wonderful
so
dog.
Jamie, what was your first
Wow.
show in 07?
He changed color.
See, this one's majestic. Look at that.
Oh, there's 2 of them. Okay.
Majestic.
You guys, I just figured out
Noble.
how to see the comments.
What's
Oh.
that?
No, this one's Dot. He's different.
That's Dot. Hi, Dot.
She's also like 10, 15 pounds lighter than the other one.
You're not old, Dot. You're not old.
She's-
You're not old.
She's a little anxious. This kind of
We have somebody watching from Australia.
Hey, that's so awesome.
she's not. She's named after Animaniacs for obvious reasons.
Yes, Animaniacs. I'm sorry. Now I'm so distracted because I'm like, there's so many people in the comments. Hi.
Yes, there are people watching.
Turn it off.
Monica.
I can't believe
Don't look. That's our
People
job.
like you
I
and
can
Jamie.
see
Our
her. I was
job
like,
is to look
oh.
at the comments.
They're not watching for me and Dana.
There's
Well,
my
maybe-
sister.
Oh, you're
I got my sister. Hi, Natalie. And we have a private chat too, so nobody can.
Don't
see this.
pull back the curtain, Monica.
So this
No,
is
this is so
Dot after
fun.
Animaniacs, and Dexter's after Dexter's Laboratory.
Oh, I thought it was after Dexter's.
We could talk
Dexter.
shit about everybody.
Dexter the
won't.
serial killer. Well, you do spooky stuff.
No,
I could
that's
get
what my
for
fiance
Dexter.
tries to say, but I deny it. It's laboratory.
Laboratory. Hey!
He's not smart enough to be either. We'll be real about it. Please, people.
Oh, God.
I have no idea. I know. Hey, John Gremion. Hey, if you guys are watching the new My Hero, John Gremion is the new villain. He's very suave. He sounds amazing. Yeah.
Are you supposed to tell people that?
Yeah.
Don't you
Who knows?
have a non-disclosure?
No, I think
We're just
Andy
in a wave
is
now.
done.
So Michael is
Mike, I finally had a actual, real, honest to goodness record yesterday.
yeah.
Back in action.
You finally, you don't have to lie about it now.
Full remote. We were all nervous because we didn't know if it was going to work or not, or if it would be good enough, but apparently it worked out great.
I don't want to throw Dana under the bus, but sometimes when he doesn't want to do something, he has to record.
Well, I do have a lot of record. Well, no, last week I did have records. They weren't real records. They were the engineers were calling me, doing this elaborate, walking me through setting up for the record yesterday
I had to do that too.
to say, hook this thing, because they sent all this equipment to my house and all this.
They sent you equipment?
Disney, baby.
It was Disney.
It is.
Yeah.
But of course, Adult Swim was like, "Hey, when did you get that equipment? Would you let us know what Disney sent you?" Like, well, you could do it too if you wanted that.
What?
Next villain to appear on my.
I agree.
Well, we know what your Wi-Fi is.
We just have to pretend like we have our own equipment.
Yeah, we have to buy all of our own equipment. Like, I mean, my gym sent me with some kettlebells and some stuff, but Funimation is not passing out rigs.
But then they're gonna like desperately call you and say, "We need to do this," and you're like, "Yeah, but I don't have anything, guys."
Well, I've been doing commercial stuff from my studio, but I have not. The anime stuff's harder because you need the whole 2-screen thing and
Yeah, right.
Source Connect and all that. So I have Source Connect and I've been using it for commercial stuff. But with anime, like I've been talking to Sentai because I've got some work there and they're in Houston, but they're shut down too. But we're trying to figure out a way that maybe we can get ahead and do stuff. But I'm not quite as technologically savvy as I'd like to think I am. So
Yeah.
I keep trying, but it's hard, y'all. It's hard. I love our engineers, man. Much love to the audio engineers.
Oh yeah.
Jeez.
I want to know what Kyle Jonathan Chang does for the Walt Disney Company.
Who?
There's someone in the comments who said he worked for the
Fair.
Walt Disney
That's a fair
Company.
question.
Ooh.
A commenter.
Yeah, a commenter.
A comment.
Is he in casting? Let's talk important stuff.
Kenny's
Like, are you
got a great
casting?
studio in Fort Worth. But
What are we talking about? Jamie?
Kenny James has a great studio.
Oh,
No, I did not.
all right.
Hentai. I said
We like in my house we were Sentai, yeah.
not hentai.
That's in Houston.
who's
No.
So we record the podcast here, so we've had to use Zoom to record our own thing and then send it to an engineer to put it together for the podcast. So that's been real fun. We tried Source Connect, and that was a nightmare.
It didn't work?
And then we tried Skype, and that was a nightmare. Zoom seems to be the easiest.
I'm telling you what, these people love Zoom. If they're not a $1 billion corporation at the end of this pandemic, I don't know who is.
their market cap is going to be beyond Amazon.
Yeah,
Or on par by the end of this.
or Amazon will buy them.
They're
I have
so
to say-
much better than everybody else.
My daughter's elementary school principal had a half-hour dance party today that he live streamed for everyone for the elementary school.
That is awesome.
He set all his DJ equipment up in his kitchen,
Oh, that's
and then
nice.
his mom, his wife, and his daughter and his dogs they came by with big fake cat heads on every once in a while. But I mean, he was dancing for a solid 30 minutes.
What kind of music do you play?
cool.
He
So
everything. Played like a good, like excellent wedding DJ. He's a wonderful. I wish I had a principal like him.
yeah.
He was great.
Instead, you have the principal from Back to the Future.
Oh yeah.
Dana went to high school in Vegas.
No, I don't
right?
even know what it was like.
What's
I
that?
don't even know. I couldn't tell you who my principal was in high school.
Were you homeschooled?
No.
Oh.
I just never got in trouble, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, but don't you know the
I
principal?
don't know. I didn't know.
Did you know them
Like-
in high school though?
Maybe.
I definitely knew
Yeah.
mine in high school because
The principal?
I knew who ours was. I
I
mean, I knew
didn't.
all my
I just-
principals.
I didn't. I mean, I knew.
I was
Oddly,
flying
have
under
no
the radar.
principals, but
Do what?
I'm so confused. I'm so
Ping
Monica.
pong.
Are you as confused as I am?
Yes. I can only hear. I didn't bring my headphones, so I'm like trying to keep up with everything.
Frank wants to know if you guys are doing other recent shows. I don't know what language he speaks. Are you guys doing any other recently shows? Monica and Jamie. Are you guys doing and other recently shows? Monica and Jamie.
We're not.
Gang on the comments. You don't have to immediately hit enter after you type. Take a half a second and reread it before you throw it out there.
I don't think that. I don't know that anybody's recording right now. Like everything's just kind of chill and waiting. I mean, like commercial stuff, but no anime stuff. But I do have some new stuff coming if we ever get to open.
I did see there's a show I'm in called Cautious Hero that's on Hulu now, which is exciting because I love that show. That's me and Anthony Bowling in it, in the leads on that one. It's a lot of fun. I like that one.
It's got what in
The
it?
character's crazy. So
What people
that's
should
my
do.
type.
What people should do now, because you don't have any new stuff coming out. And I saw some people doing this with comics. It should be anime that's new to you. And there's so much stuff that you guys have both worked on that people haven't seen. Like Monica, I know one project you did that we tried, you know, Michiko and Hatchin, right?
Yes, Michiko.
Right. Great show. But nobody's seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So how many shows have you guys done like that?
Yeah. There's a movie.
What movie?
Harmony.
Oh, yeah, Harmony. Nobody's ever seen Harmony. And I have to say, it's a good movie. Like, it's just a good film. Like,
So,
that animated thing. Like, it's
It has the most beautiful animated blood I've ever seen in my life.
yes.
so I think so.
When it
people,
drops into the water.
it's all on.
And Brittany's in it too. Brittany Karbowski's in it.
It's all online, right? I mean, most of this stuff's on Funimation's, you know, streaming, and it's or stuff's on Crunchyroll.
Wow.
So wherever it is, go.
So many. Like, there's you've got, let's see, Funimation has their own streaming service. High Dive has a ton of stuff. Of course, you've got Crunchyroll. I mean, there's so many different.
Hulu has so much stuff.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So look online and see the stuff that, you know, that Monica and Jamie or any of your favorite VAs have done, and just jump into it. There's so you guys have so many shows.
Yeah, I don't even know. I know I'm over 500.
It's insane.
I'm like, I can't remember. We used to be able to like remember.
Monica's done more than anyone ever.
Monica, I've done 3 shows and I don't remember them
Not
all.
anymore.
I used to be.
Okay.
I used to be.
have more fun than us.
So
Your
It's
mouth.
because you're getting younger.
she
There's
is.
also there's Borderlands 3
Yes.
has a new DLC a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
with Sir Hammerlock and Winnie Jacobs getting married, which is the first gay marriage in any video game in America ever. So that's exciting.
What is
And
the DLC?
Monica's
Downloadable content.
it's downloadable content. It's like
Okay.
the bonus. It's like a
See,
bonus episode.
Jamie, I'm 106 years old, so my great-great-grandson set this camera up for me so that I can. I don't even know where I am right now.
So speaking of bonus,
I'm so old I remember COVID too. That's how old I am.
no, you listen. You were around for the
Back when we
Spanish.
used to hunt squirrels for breakfast.
Dana was around for the Spanish influenza.
Oh,
That's right.
by the way.
You don't need a mask. You've got all the antibodies already.
What's that?
You don't need a mask. You have all the antibodies. You're not going to catch
That's
shit.
right. I literally have every antibody.
Sandy
Yeah.
reminded me that Marcus Aurelius, during his reign as Emperor of Rome, they were under a 15-year quarantine.
Hold on a minute, Mike. Jamie, don't touch your face. Lead by example. Stop touching your face. No wonder your Wi-Fi wasn't working. You can't.
It's got
I
the
think she's
water.
frozen on that.
Touching it. My hands are clean. I have not left my home since I have washed them.
Where were those dogs' faces?
In my house.
Ah, no. Listen,
We have a
all I'm
backyard.
saying is, don't overestimate.
We have a backyard. Nobody goes in the backyard. We have
Bacteria
we have-
does.
It's perfectly
You have a
defended with
biodome over
piles
the
of dog
backyard.
shit.
It's
All right.
it's airborne though.
I'm just saying,
We're
not for your
Aaron.
not for your own cleanliness, Jamie. For some of these slobs who are watching this, who have no idea but to
Oh,
think,
yeah.
Jamie did it. I can touch my face too. Look at me.
All right, so Dana, hang on a second. So the producers are telling me we have a winner.
Oh hey,
Oh yeah.
John Cook is
Oh,
the
look,
winner.
John Cook. Who's
Whoever John Cook
Is
is,
that a real name?
I don't
John
know.
Cook.
I feel like John Cook would be the lead in an action movie.
That guy asked who said he works for Disney. He works at California Adventure. Good, Kyle.
Jason wants to know
When he goes back to work, I'll look for him.
So hang on. So Jason wants to know if they can get character prints from your online store. So speaking of stuff and things, I think all three of you are on Cameo, right?
Yes.
And producer Steve, you want to pop up?
No, I'm not on Cameo.
You're not on Cameo, Jamie?
You have 20 minutes to sign up for Cameo before we get off this broadcast.
Jamie, you got to get on Cameo.
I'm not on Cameo. I have a Square store.
Okay.
TammyMarkey.squarespace.com or some shit like that. And so I have prints there. Monica does too. And so here's what I would say. There are licensing agreements. So let's say you wanted a print. You might go to Monica's, let's say, headshot and purchase that headshot. And then in the notes say, hey, if you have this particular character, I would rather have that print. And then we can make that happen. Does that make sense?
I think that even
But you
Dana
have to
understood
leave it in
that.
the notes.
I did. Strangely enough, I did understand.
Okay.
So
We both have our own sites and our own stores and different things. Like you have pops for sale too, right, Jamie?
Thanks for putting the thing up over mine. I appreciate it.
when they took everything else
Oh,
down.
look at this. Look at this. Unbelievable.
And then also there's a
You get
site.
them out,
called-
Just
what is
kidding.
that site? Hold on, I've been so bad about knowing names of things. It's ZBO.
Oh, it starts with a Z. We've tweeted about it.
It's the Zobi Virtual Con, and the difference with that one is that you can actually mail your stuff
Zobi.
in. Because people were like, "Why is it more expensive?" I'm like, "Well, because they have to do all the handling and all that stuff." But you get like your stuff signed. You send your stuff in, or you can get a print, and then we sign it and send you a little video and stuff, and then it sends back out.
So go to Monica's website, go to her Cameo, go to her Twitter and her Instagram, go to Jamie's Squarespace store .biz.net.com.url, and you can find it online. Google search it. It's out there. And
There it is. Use your resources.
and ghoulintentions.com
Yes,
is Jamie's fantastic ghost-centric podcast.
it's super fun.
Hate him.
Jose just put a comment up that just said, to be helpful, just wrote in cameo.com.
Hi, Jose.
Jose tries to be helpful.
Thank you for that. It was
And
very
then
helpful.
for Dana,
Here's the Twitter. Twitter.com.
all right, now for Dana, not only
Dana.com.
Cameo, but Dana has
Instagram.com.
snidestuff.com,
You've tried the rest, now try the best.
where you can get custom-made wallets.
I really did those, by the way, Dana. They're really cool.
Dana, when did you
Masks.
start doing custom-made masks?
Oh,
They're in the works. I made my daughter a My Little Pony one.
Yeah?
You wanted a My Little Pony.
Nice.
Dana,
Where I got my masks, I ordered some My Little Pony for my stepdaughters. So, My Little Pony and
Very nice.
Pokemon. Because one of them's not girly. She's a tomboy. She likes pink, but she's a tomboy. She
Yeah,
wants to know that.
I like my daughter to be both. She likes pink and all that stuff, but she also likes lizards. And
Yeah.
that's kind of me.
there you go.
That's how I was. That's how I was a kid.
I don't really like lizards, but you know, the rest of them are fine with. I'm trying to.
had one, but then you went out of your way to get rid of it. So
Yeah. So my stepson had a bearded dragon, and he didn't know how to take care of it. So he now lives with another friend of ours, thankfully.
Ooh.
Oh, my.
Monica and I went to the Caribbean on vacation one year because we have our birthdays are 3 days apart. So we usually will throw a birthday party of some sort. And then we were like, why are we spending all this money on all of these assholes that are our friends? We're going to go ahead and go on vacation. So we went to the Caribbean and we went to St. John. Tortola was our favorite because it's the Cane Garden Bay. Oh my God. But in St. John, where our friend lived, that we stayed with her there were so many of those Were they bearded dragons? Lizards? I don't know, but they would just come out in the sun.
Giant, like huge.
And they would just like hundreds of them would be out amongst the tree.
I don't like lizards, frogs, and none of that stuff. No reptiles.
They had like land crabs, like giant land crabs that would like crawl up onto the like screen door, like giant.
That's great.
Oh, that's right. And this is how you knew that there was one on the door. You would hear a scream that went straight into laughter. That's when you knew. Yeah. That was a good one. We need to do that. That was so much fun. We should do that again.
I think Crystal figured out where you got your masks.
Uh-oh.
Crystal,
She put it on there, yeah.
There you go.
Is that it?
Snowtigra.etsy.com.
Snow Tigra, thank you. Snow Tigra on Etsy. And they are open right now. They sold half of what they had in 2 hours. So hopefully they still have more.
Oh my God.
But it makes me so happy for them because they are a couple of very talented women that travel. They got married last year. It's very exciting. Huge My Hero fans. But they travel from convention to convention and sell their art at conventions. And they were just like, what are we going to do? And so they're one of the two of them is very she sews a lot, and so they are working together to get these sewn for people, and I'm so glad that people are going to them because it's helping them get through this time period when they're not able to do the conventions. So it's pretty exciting, and I'm happy to support them. So yeah, support them.
And we're trying to share every day on our GalaxyCon sites on social media. We're trying to post an exhibitor or an artist or a craftsperson, somebody who does our shows that you can go check them out online. Crystal's doing that for us. Every day we're posting another ones to check out, so our feed, so you could see some of the cool, guys and gals that do stuff, set up at our shows that can still, get stuff and ship it out to the to you guys during this time.
That's awesome.
But yes, wait a minute.
Get
Steve,
a wallet.
can you bring that last comment back up on there? Yeah. You see down there John Brown's picture?
Yeah.
There's thousands of pictures of John Brown, and that's the one he chose to be his profile picture. It looks like he just got arrested at Waffle House for indecent exposure, and that's the one he chose.
No, he's being very.
He looks like a criminal, that picture.
No.
I know John Brown. Very sweet man. Love the man. That's the picture. Oh, he's got a smile on his face. That's the picture he chose. Well, I want to make friends, but I don't want to make too many friends.
You know what?
Like
He's
the
got
people
enough.
who know me already will.
Dana, he's got me, his best friend. You don't need no other friends.
I mean, he looks like that picture looks like you are his only friend. Look, you think I got one friend, my brother. Oh, God.
My friend.
You like that? You make his profile for him, don't you?
You can't have him.
Don't worry about it, John. I'm going to take care of your profile. Don't worry.
Bad enough Monica's got her fingers and claws into Ron.
What?
Keeping my toy boy away from me.
He's still upset. We went to that one convention. I forget which one it was. And you were like, come on, let's get in the ring. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to wrestle. But he had a broken elbow.
Yeah.
He couldn't. And he's still, but to this day, he's like, when am I going to get to wrestle Mike? And I'm like, I don't know.
Well, he's got to come to the next show.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure he will be happy.
Bad ideas. Don't wrestle.
I mean, I think I want to see it just because he's so fired up.
Although, that being said, cosplayer for Halloween. Halloween, I want to go as a wrestler.
Oh, that's good. I thought you were going to say like sexy coronavirus or something. I'm like, no, girl.
No. Hilarious wrestler is my.
Are you watching Glow?
Oh, I saw the first episode. I mean, the first season. I haven't seen that.
You got to watch it the later season.
I used to watch Glow back in the day. I watched that. I didn't watch as much of the other stuff. Jack he's teaching me all of the wrestling history, which our agent Gilbert with Primetime Appearances, he has a lot of the.
He's a wrestling mark. We call them marks.
He's a wrestling mark, right?
Wrestling mark. Those are nerds for wrestling.
They're
super mark number one.
That's Jack.
Oh,
yeah, and so he had me watching their promos.
Yeah,
and that's when I decided upon my wrestling.
You should definitely watch Glow.
Yeah,
it's
Glow's
good.
great.
Good.
It's
First
great.
season, I loved it. Yeah.
And
Everybody's so good in it.
you guys were talking about bonus, stuff earlier. We're getting a bonus episode of Tiger King on Sunday,
Oh yeah.
hosted by Joel McHale.
Can I say that I have seen ads for that Tiger Park because I'm from Oklahoma. I'm from Oklahoma.
Oh my God.
Those freaks are my people. Yeah.
I don't know. You have all your teeth, and I've never known you to do meth.
It's because I moved. But also I don't have a meth problem. And also I don't wear a hat from the University of Texas, which he does. And that's wrong.
I will say that I think that that's the other sexy Halloween costumes we're probably going to see is going to be like sexy Joe Exotic or Joe Exotic with a sexy tiger.
Well, I don't think you need to say sexy Joe Exotic because Joe Exotic is inherently sexy.
And then you can have unsexy Carol Baskin.
There's no way you could make it more sexy. There's no way to.
Carol Baskin and her sexy dead husband.
She's full of admitted.
So, Jamie, have you watched Tiger King?
Oh.
You've seen
I have
Tiger
watched
King,
the
right?
first 2 episodes and I tweeted it. And so I know I need to be able to focus and here's the thing though. I am shooting a lot of bandits right now on Borderlands. So it's hard for me to pull myself away from mass murder, but because my heart needs that
There's
right now.
mass murder. There's mass murder in this.
Episode 3 is where the mass murder comes in. You have to get
And it's not just, there's multiple people die. There's
really?
Oh yeah. There's so many.
Well,
turns you'll never.
something so violent.
And
camera.
honestly, you shouldn't read or watch anything about it until you actually watch it because it's shocking at every turn.
I mean, there's one.
I'm trying to
hang on, I'm going to do it, Dana. That
Oh!
scene. That scene. Monica knows what I'm talking about, right?
I know who you're gonna be. I know who you're going for as Halloween.
My favorite person
I could be a
right
campaign
now on the
manager.
show is that woman who used to be in the Docs cult. And she's like, I mean, I didn't really want to get the boob job, but then I was on vacation. I had a break for a couple of days. So she's my favorite.
And Doc wasn't on top of her for those days.
Right. What a sociopath that guy is, right?
I mean,
that is.
It gets crazier. Those first
the Doc guy's Twitter feed is amazing because he's just totally in denial about anything about himself, and it's incredible.
So now this could just be because I'm from Oklahoma, but is Doc a representative of someone we all have in our family? And we're like, that guy's nuts. And no, nobody else has a Doc in their family?
The family, maybe I've met a Doc in business.
Not like that.
I mean, I had crazy people in my family, but I don't think like that guy.
Yeah, I have
But then again,
crazy like that in my family. Oklahoma.
I just got a text message. I'm sorry. I was trying not to read.
Well, to hear you, I have to have my laptop on, and every time I get an email, there's a ding. Anybody who listens to my podcast will know that that's what happens during every podcast. Is I'll record it, I'll forget to put mute, and then it dings.
This pandemic is going to go down as the pandemic where everybody watched Tiger King and played Animal Crossing.
I don't play Animal Crossing.
I don't have a Switch.
I have a Switch, but I don't play it.
I don't have a Switch. We're gonna get it for one of the girls who has a Switch, but we don't play it.
I've been doing
There's not enough murder in it for me.
I've been playing the
Jose has a good point.
dance game. Which one? You know, if you don't.
Jose said if you don't recognize the Doc in your family, it's because the Doc is you.
Jose nailed it.
Jose, can you see? Did it again. Knocked it out of the park. Jose and his other friend, Jose B.
Look, I think Jose's happiest moment in life was hosting a pajama party for you two.
Dude, that was so much fun. That was so favorite con memories. The only thing is that I remember I got so sick afterwards because people were like, "You want some tequila? You want that?" I'm like, "Yeah, yeah."
Monica has it as a
Just to
favorite.
be clear, it was you didn't get so sick because people said you want some tequila. You got so sick because you said, "Yeah." It was the yeah part
Yeah.
that you.
Monica has it as,
And
like,
you didn't
Monica
have
has
that activated charcoal.
I didn't know about that at the time. So you have it as a favorite memory. I have it as a favorite blackout.
There you go. It was a lot of fun. So basically, Dana, we had this panel that was like a pajama party. Everybody came in their pajamas. We let them ask us anything we want. Obviously, this would not happen today. We let them ask us anything they want.
I mean, they could ask.
And then Jose would like,
We just have to have security.
we'd be like, all right, dance break. And then Jose would like play some music and we'd all dance. And then we'd go back to questions. And like Ron gave me a lap dance. And then we were throwing out candy. And it got crazy. You should have been there.
I feel like I remember seeing you guys either on your way to it or earlier in the early evening before it was going to happen.
I think it was after that because I was in that I was in a tiger onesie.
Yes,
I feel like you were like your drunk on Disney overlapped it a little bit.
Yes.
I have no doubt it did. I know.
Dana's being reminded he has a call in 4 minutes with
Yes,
his
that's correct.
I'm like, that's what I'm getting, but from the dogs. They're like, you haven't pet me in like 10 minutes. This is ridiculous.
Yeah,
in 4 minutes we're going to be rid of Dana, so we can
maybe three,
maybe
3 minutes.
What are you doing, Dana? What are you going to go do?
I
Right.
have a call with my business manager.
Sounds like fun.
That sounds like so
Business.
much fun.
what business are you getting done during this pandemic, Dana?
That's what we're talking about.
The only
I
business
have to decide how much salary to pay myself.
the only business you're getting done is the one that involves toilet paper.
Listen, I'm holding off. I'm on week 2. No going to the bathroom.
All right, before Dana leaves, Cameo / Eye of the Snyder, www.snidestuff.com. Get your custom-made wallet so you can put your toilet paper in there. Your little sheets and Dana.
Individually.
I'm gonna try. I'll tell everybody what we have lined up for the rest of the week and next week. We have some
Yeah,
big,
don't forget.
but I want to get you. I need you on next Wednesday. We talked about that. Then I need you next Friday.
Yes.
But an earlier show because we're gonna have a special bonus show next week with Charles Martinet.
Oh, Charles. He's the Mario.
And so we'll talk about that later.
Sounds good.
All right,
Ladies,
Bye.
a pleasure as always.
It's good to see you again.
Commenters, I've seen you more in 8 days than I have in when we spend 3 days in an actual same building with each other.
A year.
All right. Goodbye, Dana.
True.
Goodbye. How do I get out of here? Oh, God.
Bye.
At the bottom, there's a thing that says, "Thank God he's gone." Oh my God.
I like that. How do I get out of here?
Oh God, he's been dragging us down for an hour.
I guess, does anybody have any questions? Because I know they popped up, but I haven't been answering them because we've been like doing our own thing.
Yeah, I mean,
We've been laughing.
there's a bunch of questions. I can go back and
There's one that says Bluma.
Who?
Bluma.
Bulma. Somebody wants to know if you've met
Instead of Bulma.
any of your Japanese voiceover counterparts.
Yes. I actually met
Only one.
I've met a few, but I've only ever had like a really big connection with 2. One of them was the voice actress who we both played mutes. So we kind of looked at each other and just went and made noises, and that was it. The other one was the young lady who played Tamayo in Angelic Lair, which is a show that I did way back when. And I actually took her to tea and sat with a translator so that we could talk about like, hey, how do you guys work? How do we work? Like, let's compare and contrast. And she was mortified to find out that we record individually. She's like, how do you do that?
Oh, I bet.
We have to because we don't change the flaps. She's like, you don't change the animation? No. So yeah, it was really interesting. Really interesting. What about you, Jamie? You met one?
And it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I think it was because it was also a character. She also played a character that Brina played. And so it was either Witchblade or Meg from Burst Angel, which is another show Monica and I are in. If you haven't seen it, it's so good. It's really
So good.
Monica's super tough and she has a really low voice. And I heard her as that voice before I ever met her. So when I met her, I was like, that's not you. I've heard your voice. It was really fun. But it was a fast story. But I think it was her. And there was just a lot of really awkward white bowing that happened. But it was really nice to meet her.
We've got
Such a long time ago, though.
We've gotten to meet some really interesting folks over the years, and I think that sometimes you have to pinch. We really have we've met some really cool people. What about Gilbert?
We've also had what's he saying? Oh, please. Talk to Gilbert, our agent. That's our advice. You want to become a voice actor.
So speaking of meeting cool people,
Yes.
Who is the cool, who is somebody that you've met at these shows that you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting this person at a convention. This is so cool. Like people go to the shows and they're fans of you guys and they're getting, excited to meet you. Who have you gotten excited to meet?
Okay, so I was at a convention and in one day I met Michael Dorn, who is Worf from Star Trek Next Generation. Yeah. For those of you who don't know, I've come from a long line of nerds. My younger brother's actual name is Jean-Luc. So
wow.
I was and then after that, because Michael Dorn's great, he's so nice, and we become friends. But after that, I met Stan Lee. And then right after that, I met Ernest Borgnine. So this is before he passed away. And that was the one that blew my mind.
Wow.
Was Ernest Borgnine and his manager and his agent. They were all at least 1,000 years old. And they were sitting there talking about old Hollywood. And they were talking about Sophia Loren. And he was signing. And he goes, Sophia Loren. Oh, when she walked into a room, she really walked into a room. And then he started signing. It was the most amazing thing I've ever experienced. It was, and I hold that into, I don't know if anything will ever top that. And he also talked about someone else. And when they brought up her name, he goes, such and such? Ugh, what a bitch. And then he kept signing little autographs that he was signing for other people. But it was in the green room and it was amazing. And I'll never forget that moment. It's the best.
It's awesome. So next week on Monday, we've got Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis.
Yay!
And next Thursday, we've got Robert Picardo, Gates McFadden, and John Billingsley.
Ah!
So 3 doctors.
Oh my God.
One
That's
night.
Amazing.
So,
one of my favorite things is asking. So, I talked to Michael Dorn and I was like, so my parents, when my brother was born in 1989. And they try to say, well, we didn't want to not name him Jean-Luc because of Star Trek for the same reason you wouldn't want to name him Jean-Luc because of Star Trek. And it's like, but we're not French. So I told that to Michael Dorn. Yeah, right. And we're from Oklahoma. Like what? And so I told that to Michael Dorn and he was like, your parents are liars. So then I got to tell my parents they're liars. And then I had a couple of other different people from Next Gen tell me that my parents are liars. And I always get to go report that to them. It's my favorite thing to do. By the way, LeVar Burton thinks you're a liar, Mom. My dad passed away a few years ago, but he knew of at least 3 Star Trek Next Generation people that thought he was a liar before he passed, and I just bring that to him.
I know nothing of the Trek. I know of the wars, but I don't know anything of the Trek.
Oh,
I know it all, baby. I know it all.
Jamie, you got to teach her. The Trek is life.
I met
Walter. He should be teaching you the Trek too.
Well, I met Walter Koenig going to a convention because we were on a flight that was diverted because of weather and stuff. And so we ended up having to take a bus. So it was like a big old party bus full of guests of this convention. But I got to talk to him and he's like, I was on Star Trek. And I'm like,
Monica, I went to a convention to meet. I went to a show just to meet Walter Koenig in October of 1987.
He's adorable. Well, I mean, Now he's older, so he's like this sweet.
Yeah, but he dances during karaoke.
Does he really?
Oh, he rocks. He sings. He dances. He is a madman.
I know.
He may be an old little man. He's still got so much energy.
Oh, I need to see that.
Okay.
Walter's,
We would like to do karaoke with him if that's possible.
okay, we'll set it up. Walter is so smart. He's such a smart guy, like you would, it's Chekhov from Star Trek. But he's like really, really smart dude. And he if you ever talk to him about like just craft and producing, writing, anything, just smart dude.
Has he ever done Chekhov? Like play? Has he ever done Chekhov plays? That's what I want to know.
Oh, I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
I want to know.
I don't know that. But Monica, Star Trek is so good.
So good.
I can only handle so much space. And Jamie knows this. I love nonfiction. Like I'm all about like learning and I'm boring. So if you give me too many dragons, or you give me too many space odysseys, my brain starts going, I cannot compute. But I also work in anime, which means I get my fill of all of that.
Yeah. At the same time.
So when I watch television, it's usually before quarantine. It was very much like documentaries and stuff like that. Now I get the appeal of broader television, but I still have not watched any Star Trek.
All right. Well, Jamie, it's your job now as her buddy.
All right.
Fix this problem.
I'll make her do it. We're gonna do it. It's so good because I would like to go back and through and watch it. Like that's one of the things that Jack, my fiance, and I connected us immediately is because we used to watch Star Trek Next Generation when we were kids. That and also he was trying to apologize for being a D&D guy. He wasn't apologizing, but he was gently saying that he liked to play Dungeons and Dragons. And I knew that's what he was trying to say. So I made it more difficult for him because that's who I am as a human. And as he finally got it out and he, and then he was like, I was like, so what are you talking about? You play Dungeons and Dragons? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, cool. That's how my parents met.
Listen.
I've got the nerddom down.
My friend John Brown, who Dana likes to make fun of, we played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons back in the 80s. A lot of Dungeons.
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jack's grandmother and mother burned his D&D stuff twice. Panic. He's from Kentucky, so it was real big there too. Oklahoma, obviously, it was big there. So they burned all of his books. So it makes it really easy for me to get him Christmas presents and birthday presents because I can just buy all those original books for him and be like, look, now you have the, Demons Guide. We have a whole you can't see it from here, but there's just a whole section of D&D books up there.
My problem is
win every time.
John has this chest of all stuff that he saved over the years. And in this chest are some D&D books that he borrowed from me when we were probably 15. And every now and again, he'll send me hey, Mike, remember this? And I'm like, oh. And it's fine because I wouldn't have it by now. I don't have anything from back then.
Yeah.
Now
it's all online too.
Yeah.
You just pull up whatever character sheet that way you want and print them out and do what you want with them. Or you don't have to print them out. Jack is in a Starfinder game right now where he has it all digital. So different. And now people, because the COVID and everything, they're playing Discord has a whole D&D section. I haven't paid a lot of attention to Starfinder, but there's a whole D&D thing where if you want to play D&D, go to Discord. They have a D&D thing where you can roll online and everything. It's crazy.
Oh, I totally forgot. I actually did a thing with Chris Waycamp. He's got a thing called the Dungeon Booth. And so I went to D&D with him and Alejandro Saab and it's super fun. He really gets into it and does all the sound effects and stuff. And it's actually on video. So if you guys are interested, I know he has a Patreon. So if you're into D&D, definitely right now is the time to watch it.
So Monica.
Yes.
We've already determined that Jamie and I are nerds. What's the geekiest, nerdiest thing about you? What are you into?
She got really mad at me because she's like, you have to be a nerd for something. And I'm like, and I am. Okay, so I have a weird fascination with British monarchy history. Like,
Okay.
that kind
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I really just have weird parts of history that I cling to.
Who do you like?
Oh, God.
For
So
sure.
my favorite, if we really want to go back to that, is Henry VIII and all of the wives.
Okay.
You know, because I studied
Little Craig.
psychology for a long time, so trying to figure out why that guy went through so many wives and like the way that it changed the course of the nation and all that was really cool. Now it's getting a little weird. Like now I'm not as much a fan of Meghan, but I do still really
But
love.
it's fascinating, right? Like
You can't help it, but the monarchy is just fascinating to me because I actually feel like I know more than most people about it because I've studied about it, and I'm still not sure what the queen does. You know what I mean? Like, other than calming everybody down. Uh-oh.
Did you know that there is I can't remember it right now because Champagne. There is a building that we did a story about it on our podcast, but Jane Seymour and Anne Boleyn both haunted. They're both said to be haunted, and I can't remember what it is. So if you guys remember from our podcast, please put it on there on the comments.
Dual intentions.
They both supposedly haunt the same. Dual intentions, yes.
Well, I got so
We learned a lot of stuff. We also debunk a lot.
yeah,
Yeah.
good. Well, I got so excited because I went to Wales Comic-Con last year, and in the hotel they put us in is really, really cool. And it had a king wing and a queen wing, right? So it was right up my alley. I'm like, sweet, whose room am I going to be in? So I walk up to my room, and there's this beautiful like archway and 2 doors. And I'm like, ooh, where am I staying? So I walk up, and the first name I see is Anne Boleyn. Well, for whatever reason, I have this weird fascination with Anne Boleyn. I love her.
Who
I'm like,
doesn't?
ooh.
Really?
I'm like, maybe I'll be in Anne Boleyn's room.
Right.
And then I look, and I'm like, oh, that's not the right number. I'm in Mary Queen of Scots. I was in Bloody Mary's room all weekend. There was a giant like oil painting that took up the whole wall of her just looking very menacing. It was, I actually had a conversation with her at one point because I'm a skeptic, but I was taking a nap and the windows shut, like they slammed shut. And I thought, oh, it's the wind. So I got up to look at it, but not only had they slammed shut, they had also locked. And I'm like, So I had.
Meanwhile, she was texting me. To be fair, she was texting me the whole time.
I was like, so I just had a conversation with Bloody Mary because I'm staying in her room and I don't think she likes me much. So I basically was like, look, Mary, I know your sister was a bitch, and I'm so sorry she treated you like that, but I'm not her. I'm just here for the weekend. We're gonna have a good time. You don't mess with me. I won't mess with you. Everything's good. We're kosher, right? And nothing else happened the rest of the weekend. So
you just gotta let it out, and it's so funny because there's a lot of like Bloody Marys, like a lot of Marys in history have been dubbed the Bloody Mary. And it's because women constantly get the bullshit of the story. Like somebody asked about the Winchester Mansion just now, like, have I ever been? I haven't been, but that story about it being haunted because she was trying to avoid the ghosts, that's not true. Some guy just bought it. The guy who owned the first roller coaster in Canada that at 20 miles an hour killed somebody. They got thrown off of it at 20 miles an hour. But anyway, he bought it and decided he was going to make it a public place. And so what actually happened, in the podcast, we call it a hashtag actually. I can up to that. I know that's not going to be a surprise to anybody. And so what happened is, she knew that the community needed to be able to make money. And so what she did was she wanted to be an architect as well. And because she was a woman, people were like, you're a woman. You can't be an architect. She was like, I'll architect my house. I don't care. So she started designing stuff and she paid the community, people like the men in the community, construction workers. She gave them jobs because they needed work.
Oh, wow.
And so she brought them in and paid them to do the stuff that she wanted done just for fun, just to do it. And so that they would have money and she would be able to do, the creative stuff she wanted to do. And that was it. She never felt like she was being haunted. She didn't want to avoid the devil or the demons or the ghosts of all the people that were shot with the winch. That's all made up by the guy who bought it after her to like kind of vilify this woman or make her crazy, when in reality, she was just helping people in the community.
Funny how that
Happens all the time.
All right,
Yeah,
guys.
right? We're verified. Yay!
All right. On that note, I think our time's up.
Yes, thank you so much for having us, Mike. This is always so much fun.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And you guys have been great. And so one last time, go to Monica on her IG and Twitter. Go to her Cameo.
Woo!
Go to all of Jamie's stuff. And go to Ghoul Intentions and listen to her Ghost podcast, where you can hear stories like this for days and days on end. And
We have hundreds of
tomorrow night, Kid Cadet and Danica, it's their weekend show with Michael Cudlitz from The Walking Dead and Matt Nowitzki from Blue October, the band. And then next week, the bassist for Blue October. Then next week, Monday, Jonathan Frakes and Marina Sirtis from Star Trek Next Generation and Star Trek Picard, fresh off Picard. Tuesday, we've got Lou Ferrigno coming to talk about how to stay in shape and fit in your quarantine time. Wednesday, we have Brittany Karbowski and hopefully Dana. Thursday, we have the Doctors of Star Trek with Gates McFadden from Next Generation, Robert Picardo from Voyager, and John Billingsley from Enterprise. And then on Friday, we've got 2 shows. An early show at 4 p.m. with Charles Martinet, Mario from Super Mario Brothers, Smash Brothers. And then at 7 o'clock, we've got Barry Boswick, Rocky Horror, Mega Force, Spin City. And he's bringing his buddy, who's never done our show, Alan Ruck. Cameron from Ferris Bueller. And Stuart in Spin City. And for Star Trek nerds, Captain Harriman in Star Trek Generations.
Wait, I'm sorry, but how can anything be bigger than Cameron in freaking Ferris Bueller?
I love it.
When I was in Egypt's land, let my Cameron go.
Oh. Yes.
Hey, you young people out there, if you have not seen Ferris Bueller's, this is the time to do it. Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Wow.
It is a masterpiece, and Alan Ruck is phenomenal in it.
So good.
And Alan Ruck's a phenomenal actor. In Spin City, he's such a creepy weirdo in Spin City. And then he's the captain of the ship where Captain, Kirk gets sucked out into
That's awesome.
Into space.
I didn't even know.
So all right, thank you everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye guys. Thank you.
All right, Jamie, Monica, stick around. I'll see you backstage.
Okay. Bye.
Check out the GalaxyCon store online. You can find items like t-shirts, signed and certified Funko Pops, magnets, keychains, and pins, exclusive comic book variants, and so much more. Make sure to check out our collectibles page, which features autographs for every fandom, from Star Trek to My Hero Academia and everything in between. So what are you waiting for? Check out GalaxyCon.myshopify.com.